Thakur teaching you life sciences and welcome you all over YouTube channel Gurmantra Shiksha Ka Granth. Today in this video we are going to talk about endocrine system. Okay, I have already told you, I have already not told you, but I have already covered your different topics of human physiology, and this one is the last from my side. After that, I will be giving you a practice session in the end on endocrine system as well as on your sense organ, and then I will start microbiology. This is the last topic, and let's start with our today's topic, which is about your endocrine system. Okay, so endocrine system, you know about endocrine system. What is endocrine system? What is the endocrine system? Do you know? Do you have any idea? Definitely, ma'am, we have a complete idea of our endocrine system. Fine. What is endocrine system? How does it function? What organs are included in this system? So this is the system of ductless gland. Whenever you talk about endocrine glands, whenever you say endocrine glands, so endocrine glands are what? Endocrine glands are your ductless glands. Okay, endocrine glands are ductless gland. And if I say exocrine gland, when I'm saying exocrine glands, so these glands are duct with duct. These glands have duct. Okay, so it means endocrine gland, these endocrine glands, okay, they will release their content, their chemicals, all the things they are having, okay, all the content they are having directly into the blood because they are ductless. While exocrine glands, these are with ducts, so they release their content with duct into the blood. Okay, their content will flow through the duct and then will be released into the blood, right? No confusion? We already don't have any confusion. Okay, so whenever we say endocrine glands, so endocrine glands secrete their hormones directly into the blood streams for distribution throughout the body. Fine. So hormones, the most of the secretion of endocrine gland is known as hormones. Okay, what are hormones? When you say hormones, what are hormones? So hormones, they have low molecular weight. Okay, hormones have low molecular weight. Fine. Okay, and they are heterogeneous and non-nutritive. Fine. Along with this, they are produced in trace amounts. Right? Okay, ma'am, we understand this. And these are intercellular signal molecules. So this is all about hormones. Not confused about anything? Okay. This, the structure you are seeing on your screen right now, this is an endocrine system. Okay, sometimes some organs are included in the endocrine system which are not exactly endocrine glands. Like hypothalamus is not an endocrine gland. Your your thymus is exactly not an endocrine gland. And all these hormones are distributed through the blood throughout the body, but they reach to a specific target cell. These hormones will reach to a specific target cell and where they will perform their particular function. Okay, fine. Hormonal signaling will involve what? Whenever you will say hormonal signaling will involve biosynthesis of a particular hormone in a particular tissue, storage and secretion of the hormone, transport of the hormone to target cell, recognition of the hormones by associated cell membrane or any intracellular receptor protein. It relay and there is then a relay and amplification of received hormone signal via signal transduction process and a cellular response. Okay, so these hormones, they can be like classified. Okay, hormones, if we talk about hormonal classification, then they are classified mainly into two classes. Okay, like they are either lipid soluble or water soluble. Okay, and what are lipid soluble? Lipid soluble are includes your steroid hormones. Okay, steroid hormones and your thyroid hormones. Your steroid hormones and thyroid hormones are lipid soluble hormones. And then your water soluble hormone, These are your I'm sorry. Okay, so I doesn't know what happens here. uh, okay, I'm sorry for this. Okay, fine, fine, fine. Okay, I am really sorry for this. It happens all of a sudden. Okay, then I was talking about your hormones. I talked about your lipid soluble hormones and then your water soluble hormones. Okay, I told you that steroids and thyroid hormones are lipid soluble hormone. Okay, and your water soluble hormones include your amine hormones, your peptide hormones. Okay, and uh, these are your lipid soluble hormone and these are your water soluble hormone. First of all, when we will talk about what are the major hormone producing endocrine glands or organ. So first of all, your hormones start releasing from where? Your hormones are released from your hypothalamus. Okay, hypothalamic region. Then they then reaches the pituitary gland. Fine, and then from pituitary gland different hormones are released which then targets the target organ. This hypothalamus is located where? You must know about prosencephalon. Okay, you have heard about prosencephalon. Prosencephalon uh, prosencephalon includes how many, like part other one is cerebrum and other one is diencephalon. Okay, diencephalon. Okay, and diencephalon, what diencephalon will include? Epithalamus, hypothalamus and thalamus. Okay, so hypothalamus is a part of diencephalon of prosencephalon. Fine, and there are a number of hormones that are released from the hypothalamus. Now those hormones, okay, fine, those hormones could be releasing hormones. The hormones which are released from hypothalamus, those could be releasing hormones. Okay, releasing hormones, they will be stimulatory hormone. Okay, and other are inhibitory hormones. These inhibitory hormones will be inhibiting some function of of the pituitary. I mean, they will be inhibiting the secretion of pituitary gland. Fine. Okay, here you can see there are pituitary gland, your parathyroid gland, thyroid gland, and in behind of the thyroid gland is two pairs of parathyroid gland: adrenal gland, pancreas, ovary, and testes. Fine. Okay. So now you know that first of all hormones are released from hypothalamus, then they enter your pituitary gland. Pituitary gland will have two parts: your anterior pituitary and your posterior pituitary, right? And then hormones from the pituitary gland will be released which will affect the effector organ. Fine. Okay, this is your pituitary gland. You can check out your pituitary gland here. Yeah, this is the hypothalamus. These are the hypothalamic neurons. Okay, hypothalamic neuron, as you can see, portal circulation. Fine. This is the posterior pituitary. This is the anterior pituitary. Right. This pituitary, where it is present, this pituitary gland is also known as hypophysis. Okay, pituitary gland is also known as hypophysis. Located where? Located in sella turcica. Okay, it is located in sella turcica of sphenoid bone. It is located in sella turcica of sphenoid bone. Okay, and it is attached to hypothalamus through infundibulum. Let me show you another structure. You can see this thing also. See, these are the interneurons. Okay, these are the cell bodies of neurons that synthesize and secrete releasing hormones. These are the cell bodies, and these are the neurons which will synthesize hormones stored in posterior pituitary. These are hypothalamic releasing hormone, primary plexus of closed portal system releasing hormones that enter through fenestration. Okay, these are the fenestrations, and these hormones are stored in posterior pituitary. This is your anterior pituitary. This is the pars intermedia. Okay, I will be talking about pars intermedia as well. But right now you understand about secondary plexus and releasing hormones will exit through the fenestration to reach the pituitary cells. Okay, this is your anterior pituitary, right? This one is your anterior pituitary. Okay, okay, anterior pituitary cell will secrete hormones into secondary plexus through fenestration and ultimately into your general circulation. This is your general circulation. Okay, so you understand again that the hormones will come from hypothalamus. This is the way, hypothalamic releasing hormones, and this is your superior hypophyseal artery, neurosecretory cells. Then they will enter your pituitary gland. So pituitary gland, as I told you, it has two reasons, like anterior pituitary and posterior pituitary. Anterior pituitary, also known as adenohypophysis, adenohypophysis, and your posterior pituitary, also known as neurohypophysis, right? Adenohypophysis and your neurohypophysis. Adenohypophysis, it has two parts, pars distalis and pars. It has two parts, pars distalis and pars intermedia. Okay, pars distalis and pars intermedia, right? Pars distalis and pars intermedia. Okay. In humans, pars intermedia, it is merged in pars distalis mostly. Okay. So we talk about only anterior pituitary and posterior pituitary. Fine. So anterior pituitary, you understand about anterior pituitary and posterior pituitary as well. Okay, these are anterior pituitary hormone and these are hypothalamus hormones which will stimulate pituitary to release hormones. Okay, this is a secondary capillary plexus of hypophyseal portal system. Fine. Let's talk about the hormones which are released from hypothalamus. First of all, let's talk about thyrotropin releasing hormone. This is your thyrotropin releasing hormone. Thyrotropic releasing hormone is also known as your thyrotropin releasing factor. It is a peptide hormone. This hormone is a peptide hormone and it stimulates your thyroid stimulating hormone. Thyroid stimulating hormone will then act on thyroid glands and allow the thyroid glands to release triiodothyronine and tetraiodothyronine. Tetraiodothyronine is also known as thyroxine. Okay, this is also known as thyroxine. Fine. And let's talk, I will be talking about thyroid stimulating hormone in the later section. Let me tell you about other hormones now. So let me tell you about growth hormone releasing hormone now. Before telling about dopamine, I'll tell you about growth hormone releasing hormone. So growth hormone releasing hormone is also known as growth hormone releasing factor. This is also known as growth hormone releasing factor. Again a peptide hormone. This is also a peptide hormone. Fine. And it is released from neurosecretory nerve terminal and carried by hypothalamo-hypophyseal portal circulation in the anterior pituitary gland. It will stimulate the release of what? Your growth hormones. It will stimulate the release of growth hormone. Okay. So the action of this growth hormone releasing hormone will be opposed by somatostatin. Somatostatin, first of all, it is in the form of pre-pro-somatostatin. Then it is cleaved to form pro-somatostatin. And then this pro-somatostatin is cleaved to form somatostatin 14 and somatostatin 28. This somatostatin hormone, what it will do, it will inhibit the release of growth hormone. Okay, I'm sorry, okay, wait, okay, it will stimulate what, it will stimulate the it will not stimulate, but it will inhibit the release of growth hormone as well as your thyroid stimulating hormone. It inhibits the release of thyroid stimulating hormone. Your gastrointestinal hormone, it will suppress the release of pancreatic hormones like insulin and glucagon. It will suppress the exocrine secretory action of pancreas as well and oppose the effects of gonadotropin hormone releasing hormone. Okay, let's talk about now corticotropic tropin releasing hormone. This is your corticotropic releasing hormone, right? So what is the role of corticotropin releasing hormone? This is originally called as corticotropin releasing factor again, and it also, you can also call it corticolibrin. Okay, corticolibrin. Fine. And this is a polypeptide. This hormone is a sorry, I'm doing it again and again. Okay, this hormone is a polypeptide. Fine. This hormone is a polypeptide. Fine. Okay, it is a polypeptide. Okay, and its main function is to stimulate the secretion of your adrenocorticotropin hormone. Fine. And then comes your prolactin. Thyrotropin releasing hormone not only stimulate thyroid stimulating hormone, but it also stimulate your prolactin. But prolactin is inhibited by this hormone, which is your dopamine. The secretion of prolactin is inhibited by dopamine. Dopamine is also known as prolactin inhibiting hormone. Fine. And then left is gonadotropin hormone, which act upon anterior pituitary, and it releases follicle stimulating hormone. Follicle stimulating hormone in males, what they will do, they will act upon Sertoli cells. Okay, Sertoli cells, and then they will be responsible for spermiogenesis and nourishment of sperm. Luteinizing hormone in male will act upon Leydig cells, and then Leydig cells will release androgen, and Leydig cells will release androgens. Okay, and if we talk about follicle stimulating hormone in female, so this hormone will act upon, in female I'm talking about, then this hormone will be responsible for follicle growth. Okay, and luteinizing hormone in female is responsible for ovulation. Okay, fine, understand, great. And or there are two hormones, oxytocin and vasopressin. Oxytocin, which is responsible for muscle contraction during pregnancy. Vasopressin, ADH. I have already mentioned the role of vasopressin twice in my video, so I'm not going to tell you this thing now. Okay, so you know about anterior pituitary, posterior pituitary, and growth hormone as well. See, growth hormones, what it do? Growth hormone, what it will do? It does not act directly. Okay, it helps in, like, it stimulate mitogen. This hormone stimulate mitogens. Okay, this hormone stimulate mitogens, and indirectly through the mediation of a mitogen whose synthesis and release are induced by growth hormone, it stimulate our growth. Insulin like growth factor. Insulin like growth factor is a growth hormone. Fine. And your prolactin. Prolactin will stimulate the it will stimulate the your mammary glands for lactation, and like milk production normally starts when the level of progesterone fall by the end of pregnancy, but prolactin also gives negative feedback to hypothalamus to stop the secretion of gonadotropin releasing hormone. Okay, so prolactin, let me remove all these things right now. Okay, so prolactin, what it will do, this is your let me take the your pan. Okay, okay, this prolactin, your prolactin, what it will do, it will also stimulate hypothalamus to stop the secretion of your gonadotropin releasing hormone. So if it is stopping the release of gonadotropin releasing hormone, then in the result there will be less stimulation of follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone, and then there will be no ovulation. Okay, there would be no ovulation. No ovulation means no menstruation, and there will be lactation, amenorrhea. You must have about a lactation, amenorrhea. Fine. So you must know about this thing. Okay. Then you know about the function of follicle stimulating hormone. Thyroid stimulating hormone, thyrotropin, it will activate the release of thyroid hormone. I told you about thyroxine, tetraiodothyronine and triiodothyronine. Okay, there are different cells present in the thyroid gland. You should also be aware of those glands as well. And oxytocin and vasopressin, you know about vasopressin and oxytocin as well now. Okay, so there is thymus gland. Thymus gland will be releasing thymosin, which will enhance thymopoietin, and thymopoietin will promote the maturation of your T cells. T cell, okay, you know about T lymphocytes, which will play a role in regulating the immune system by stimulating other kind of immune cell as well. So the pancreas is an exocrine gland as well as endocrine gland. Okay, I haven't mentioned here pancreas, but you know that pancreas is a exocrine as well as endocrine gland. Okay, you can call it a heterocrine or mixocrine. Okay, okay, I forgot to write T. Heterocrine or mixocrine gland. Fine. So, what kind of cells? In pancreas, you will see A cells and B cells. A cell release glucagon. B cell release insulin. Fine. These are the mains. Other are B cells, F cells, but you should know about glucagon and insulin. Glucagon is a polypeptide. Okay, and its function is like what will be the function of glucagon? Like glycogenesis, glucogenesis. Okay, and insulin is again protein hormone. Okay, first of all, it is formed in the form of pre-insulin and pre-proinsulin, and then proinsulin is formed, and from proinsulin cleavage, insulin is formed. The function of like your insulin is glycogenesis, glycogenolysis, glucogenesis, lipolysis. Fine. So there will be like counter current, like they will work against each other. Glucagon and insulin will work against each other. So you should know the regulation of glucagon and insulin secretion as well. I'm not going to tell you. You have to do this work yourself. You must be doing something now. Okay. Adrenal gland. Your adrenal gland have two reasons: adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla. Adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla. So your like corticoids are released from cortex, like your aldosterone is released from adrenal cortex, while epinephrine, norepinephrine are released from your adrenal medulla. Gonadal hormones, you understand about gonadal hormones, FSH, LH, they will act on gonads and stimulate the release of your your testosterone, your estrogen. Okay, there are other hormones, some other hormones which are released from kidney. I have told you about renin angiotensin. Okay, renin angiotensin. Okay, and fine. And you also know about atrial natriuretic factor released from heart. I have told this thing also during my videos. You must know about gastrin, cholecystokinin, secretin, all the hormones which are released from gastrointestinal tract, and what are the function of these hormones. Fine. Okay, then you must be aware of your placental hormones. Okay, some hormones are released from placenta as well, as like which hormones? Your human chorionic gonadotropin and your human placental lactogen. Human chorionic gonadotropin during the pregnancy, it will do what? It will maintain the progesterone level so as to maintain endometrium and thus maintaining the pregnancy. Human placental lactogen will be doing what? It will be stimulating your mammary glands. Okay, whenever you do pregnancy test, the level of human chorionic gonadotropin is quite high. Fine. You should also know that kidney also releases erythropoietin. Okay, so erythropoietin are also released from your kidney. So that's all about all the hormones. I have told you all these things during my previous lecture. You should be watching the videos in the playlist. You will be able to know about all those hormones, but still you have to go through your reference book in order to make your concept strong about hormones. I'll be providing you with a practice session in the later video, so you must be attending that practice session to make sure if you are pretty confident you are good in the endocrine system or not. Okay, fine. Okay, Now let me tell you about the glands and let me tell you about oxytocin. What is the peptide hormone? Which one is the glycoprotein? Okay, so yeah, the examiner can ask you a question on this thing also. See, oxytocin is a peptide hormone. Antidiuretic is also peptide hormone. Growth hormone and prolactin are protein hormone. FSH, LH, and your thyroid stimulating hormone are glycoproteins. Adrenocorticotropin is a peptide. Most of the hormones are peptide hormones. Then comes your thyroid gland, which is triiodothyronine, thyroxine, which is also known as tetraiodothyronine, and calcitonin. You must know that what exactly is the role of calcitonin, how it will regulate the level of calcium. Why are you not telling, ma'am? Because I want you to do some work right now. Okay. Okay, this is a peptide hormone then, and a parathyroid hormone gland release parathyroid hormone. So what is the role of this parathyroid hormone exactly? Are you aware of the what is the role of parathyroid hormone or not? You should know, at least you should study the role of each and every hormone. These parathyroid hormones, also known as Colles hormone. Remember, this is also known as Colles hormone, parathyroid hormone. It increases the calcium level in the blood, and its regulation is regulated by calcium level in blood. Okay, it is not regulated by only hypothalamus or pituitary hormone. Bone and tissue act as a storage reservoir for calcium, and parathyroid hormone stimulate the removal of calcium from the bone to increase level in the blood. Therefore, it stimulates osteoclastic activity. Fine, it is a peptide hormone. Adrenal gland. So okay, I have told you the function of epinephrine, norepinephrine already. If you are watching my videos, adrenal cortex release glucocorticoids, mineral corticoids. These are epinephrine, norepinephrine, along with the thyroid hormones are amines. Glucocorticoids are steroid. Gonad will include testis and ovary. From a testis releases androgens. From ovary releases estrogen. Both of these are steroid hormone. Okay, both of these are your steroid hormone. Okay, pineal gland, melatonin, clock. Okay, regulate your sleep, wake up cycle. Fine. Increased production of melatonin will increase sleep. Okay, you will feel sleepy. Fine. Thymus will release thymosin, which will enhance the production of T cells, which are your immunological cells. Secretin, cholecystine, gastrin, these are polypeptide hormones. Melatonin is a amine hormone. Thymosin is a peptide hormone. That's all for today. Not for today, that's not all. I forgot to tell you about the hormonal action. So tell me, either FSH is a water soluble hormone or it is a like lipid soluble hormone. It is having the receptor on the membrane. Most of the water soluble hormones have their receptor on the membrane, and these hormones will act as primary messenger. They act as primary messenger, and then when they enter the cell, they will cause response 1. They will It will result in the generation of secondary messenger. A secondary messenger will be stimulated. This is cyclic AMP, cyclic GMP, calcium ion. Okay, and your IP3. What exactly is IP3? There is another diacylglycerol. Okay, you must know about your IP3. What is your IP3? You know or not? Okay, so IP3 is like your what? IP3 is your inositol triphosphate, and then these will generate biochemical responses, which then will ultimately act on target organ, and physiological response will be generated. Like FSH will result in ovarian growth. Fine. Then comes your steroid hormone. Steroid hormone will easily be able to pass through the membrane. They will be acting in the cytosol. They will have the receptor in cytosol as well as intracellular receptors. Intracellular receptors. What intracellular receptor do? Intracellular. These receptors will be they will be influencing the transcription of genes. In the response to these hormones, genes will be turned off or turned on. Okay, so some lipophilic signal molecule will bind to cell surface receptors, like there are some eicosanoids. Okay, there are some eicosanoids, and some leukotrienes. These are lipid soluble hormones derived from arachidonic acid. And you know that arachidonic acid is what? It is a 20 carbon fatty acid. Okay, they will bind to cell surface receptor just like water soluble hormone. That's all for today. If you want to take the subscription of Unacademy, then here is the details of paid classes on your screen. Okay, this all is the detail of your paid classes. Okay, you can check out this detail. If you want to get the 10% off, then you can use the referral code Neha, which is the referral code of Neha Taneja ma'am. Go on Unacademy, take the subscription, follow ma'am on Unacademy. She has a great watch time. It has been increased till now, and she has a good number of followers as well. This is her dedication. These are the features of Unacademy. You will be able to get a lot on that platform if you want to. Okay, along with this, do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Press the bell icon. Do not forget to what? Do press the bell icon. If you want to join us on Telegram, join us on our Facebook page. Then you can do what? Check out the description box. Okay, check out your description box. There you will get link to our different platforms. On a single click, you will be there on our platform. This is the website, and if you have any query, mail on this, and you can also call on this number. Your each and every query will be resolved. That's all for today. Keep waiting for your practice session. Till then, bye bye. Take care.